Ethical Decision-Making as Educational Leaders by Kristen Herron. This will be a video presentation and reflection of Chapter 1 and 2 of Ethical Educational Leadership in Turbulent Times. Resolving Moral Dilemma by Shapiro and Gross for Building Leader Internship under Dr. Kimberly Wilkerson. Minute by minute, educational leaders are asked to make moral decisions that impact the lives of everyone in their building. And sometimes these decisions must be made quickly with little background knowledge. In buildings with distributed leadership, all educational leaders make decisions, but the final decisions are made by the leader in highest authority. In general, that is the building principle, and they should expect to be held accountable. Many times, these leaders are required to make quick decisions to prevent issues from causing turbulence that could interfere with the whole educational process. When making ethical decisions, it is important that they consider all four of the multiple ethical paradigms. These include the ethics of justice, the ethics of critique, the ethics of care, and the ethics of profession. When leaders do this, they begin to put their personal convictions aside. The four levels of turbulence, ranging from low to extreme, may be seen during the decision-making process, and the leader may see a situation move along the spectrum throughout the process. The multiple ethical paradigms will be explained, as well as the impact of the turbulence theory. The ethics of justice. The ethics of justice paradigm centers around the legal side of ethics in making moral decisions. When the ethic of justice is used, leaders consider the impact on society, laws, rights, and current policies. However, when the ethic of justice is used alone, the legal implications are considered without fully analyzing the impact of the decision on everyone involved. The result of the decision may not be seen for years to come. A leader who uses only the ethic of justice may be seen as callous. The ethics of critique paradigm brings to light errors in the ethics of justice and challenges leaders to question the impact of laws, rights, policies with a goal of equity for those who have been repressed. The educational leader is asked to consider the cards a person or a people group has been dealt in life and ponder whether the consequences of a decision will further serve as an injustice in education or lead to the possible betterment of that group. The leader must first recognize how the decision of society prevented the person or group from reaching their full potential. The hope is that the person or group will be given a better chance to excel in education and in life. The ethics of care paradigm calls educational leaders to involve the many leaders on campus in the decision-making process. This includes giving a voice to the students. Noddings reminds us that caring is the very bedrock of all successful education. As educational leaders use the ethics of care to make decisions, they model relational decision-making for all of us. When a building leader strives to involve the other leaders in moral decision-making, they learn effective communication skills. Everyone is given a voice, and together they can examine and discuss possible consequences of the decision. And students observe and participate in the decision-making process, learning skills in collaboration and interpersonal communication. There are four components of the ethics of professionalism paradigm. First, educational leaders are to be equipped for making ethical decisions according to the updated professional standards for educational leaders provided by the National Policy Board for Educational Administration. These standards are important for all educational leaders to know and to follow. but no list can cover everything that a leader must face. Second, the leader is to evaluate his or her own personal moral compass, then compare it to the expected standards. Third, the educational leader should strive to make students the central focus when making decisions. And last, the educational leader should consider all of the stakeholders, including school and community. The turbulence theory is comprised of 4 degrees of turbulence: light, moderate, severe, and extreme. When light turbulence is present, the education process can continue while educational leaders deal with the easy-to-handle issues. All parties are willing to work together to resolve the issue. Moderate turbulence occurs when a problem is known by many with the expectation that it will be resolved quickly. The educational leader may use distributive leadership to make decisions and solve the problem, and care for both sides is evident to all. In times of severe turbulence, the normal functions of the school may be halted due to an unsettled situation. The conflict or issue may involve angry community members that have a stronghold, and they may plan to move to make and they may have a plan to move forward with the disagreement. When there is extreme turbulence in a school system, it may become volatile and unable to function. Compromise usually doesn't appear likely. The turbulence may go beyond school level and impact the district as well. Community involvement is hostile. The legal system may be involved, and turbulence leads to detrimental effects on the educational process. When issues are not handled efficiently and to the liking of all stakeholders, turbulence may escalate. As an educational leader, the decision to consider levels of turbulence when resolving conflicts and making decisions is crucial, as is meshing the ethics of justice, critique, care, and the profession. With the highest level of leadership comes the highest level of responsibility and accountability. Directives have been given by the National Policy Board for Educational Administration to provide guidance to educational leaders who are making decisions that impact students' lives and success. Educational leaders have been called by the NPBEA to nurture the achievement of their student body while operating honorably with decency and consciousness. Just a side note, I have read the updated standards released by the NPBEA, and the ethics standard is now standard or PSEL Standard 2, which not only includes nurturing achievement, but also caring for the whole child. The NELP Standard 2 for candidates of an educational leadership program aligns with this PSEL Standard 2. It will be necessary as a candidate that my actions reflect an understanding of these ethical and professional norms. As I studied the ethical paradigms and degrees of turbulence, I was reminded when making decisions it is important to look through the lens of all stakeholders and consider the consequences of each decision, the impact on the stakeholders, and the effect the decision will have on the turbulence of the school and community.